Live from KSAT 12, the News at Noon starts right now.
A developing story this noon. It seems like one wrong move behind the wheel has led to disaster for a driver. San Antonio police say that he died in a fiery crash after crossing into oncoming traffic.
Katrina Weber was at the scene today near Southwest Loop 410 near Medina Base Road and tells us police are still wondering why that car driver went off course.
Well, that's one big question that investigators still have. What went wrong for the driver behind the wheel, causing him to go from the southbound lanes of Loop 410 over to the northbound lanes? Now, right around Medina Base Road, that is where he collided with an 18-wheeler. His car got stuck under the truck and was dragged. This spread out about a 200-yard area on the northbound lanes of Loop 410. The truck stopping some distance away from where it crashed with the car. The car was split in two. Half of it ended up on the hill, the other half about 100 yards away. It also caught fire and the car driver was killed. The police say the big rig driver did stop and they were able to talk to him. They are still continuing with their investigation. Now, at this point, they have not released any names. They have not identified that driver of the car who was killed. Reporting from the southwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, and we're taking a look at live cam right now, and here's a scene of another crash that we saw earlier this morning. This was at 37 and Loop 410. This was an 18-wheeler that rolled over and actually spilled some of its cargo on the northbound lanes of 37. Now, just to talk about that other crash that Katrina was at earlier, the northbound lanes of 410 are still shut down right now after that deadly crash from earlier this morning. Of course, we have all this information on KSAT.com.
Yep, a lot to monitor over the next several hours. We'll get you the latest developments on that story and also the radar, because we've already started to see some spotty downpours and a couple of isolated non-severe thunderstorms develop in and around the San Antonio area. On the far south side of Bexar County near 1604, we've got a few splash and dash showers generally working their way farther up to the north. One of the more notable downpours currently near La Cantera and the Rim. This just moved over the Helotes area over the past hour. It's now crossed over Highway 16. That's going to be nearing Leon Springs in the I-10 corridor on the northwest side of town here over the next 15 to 30 minutes. More scattered downpours continue across portions of Wilson, Guadalupe, Gonzales County, a lot of that approaching Highway 90 off to the east, and even into Lavaca County. Shiner, you're seeing a couple of non-severe thunderstorms approach from the south as well. So I've opted to increase rain chances to a 40% potential into the first half of the afternoon. It's still not going to be for everybody, but if you do tap into some of the activity, some pockets of brief heavy rainfall, some lightning, and perhaps some gusty winds will definitely be a possibility. Another chance is in store as we look ahead to the first half of the weekend tomorrow, but also this weekend we're going to need to monitor for a plume of Saharan dust that looks to work in to the south central Texas sky. After that, rain chances come down, temperatures crank up into early next week with highs back in the upper 90s. We're going to get you a look at that setup coming up a little bit later on, guys.
All right, there was a lot of traffic news to get to, and of course we were talking about a big closure here northwest side of town. We were talking about the 1604 North Expansion Project. Here's basically what you need to know about this weekend. Basically 1604 West from I-10 all the way to Lock Hill Selma, that will be shut down throughout the entire weekend. I-10 East, we will have the right main lane that is shut down at the 1604 interchange. We're also going to have these two cloverleafs closed in that interchange, and again, this all starts tonight 9 o'clock running through Monday 5 a.m. But KSAT has actually done a pretty good job of clearing things out and opening things up a little bit earlier than that Monday time frame. We will keep our fingers crossed for our drivers on the northwest side that is the case. Tiffany?
Thank you, RJ. And we know that that's a big deal. A lot of schools are still out, so people are hitting the roads. But another traffic alert as our city grows, you will see more construction. That includes a project on the north side. In the coming weeks, crews will start an extension project to connect Centera Boulevard to Loop 1604. The project is expected to last about a year. The goal is to ease traffic in the area by reducing congestion. Something would be especially helpful on Sunday mornings. This road connects to the Community Bible Church campus. District 9 Councilman John Courage says cars can be backed up for blocks on a typical Sunday morning.
A lot of that traffic just stops at the end of Sonterra, and it has to go back and try and mix and mingle with 281 traffic to get onto 1604. There's been a lot of growth all along Sonterra Boulevard. It can get pretty congested, especially with traffic coming out of the church.
Right now, there is no access between Sonterra and Gold Canyon Road. The project would increase the road to 4 lanes with a raised median and sidewalks and lights, and make utility adjustments and improvements to drainage. You can learn more about this project on KSAT.com.
All right, now to Tropical Storm Beryl. We know that that is long gone, but the after effects are still impacting, of course, daily life in the Houston area. However, relief is on the way for those who are still without power and in the dark, as Houston residents approaching the 5th day now without power. CenterPoint Energy says that its 12,000-person crew has already made significant progress in restoring that power. It says 80% of customers should have their power back by this Sunday.
New details this noon. A man wanted in connection with a Harris County deputy's death is now in custody.
Yes, and this all stems from a blue alert issued after the Harris County Sheriff's Office says that someone ambushed and killed one of their deputies.
Bryce Newberry from our sister station in Houston reports the suspect actually called deputies to say he was ready to surrender.
After less than 24 hours on the run, tactical officers surrounded Ronald Ronnie Palmer Jr. and brought him to his knees. The 44-year-old arrested in this Northeast Harris County neighborhood.
We were also at other simultaneous locations at the same time. It just happened to be that this was the one that we lucked out.
Wednesday night, this is Palmer Jr. inside a Little Caesars on Wallaceville Road, where he's accused of pistol whipping a clerk, angry over a messed up pizza order. Harris County Sheriff's deputies tracked his vehicle to a house on Blue Wonder Lane, and while Deputy Fernando Esqueda talked to other investigators on the phone, he was ambushed.
He's an amazing young man, taken far too soon, a hero. He was a true crime fighter that always was go, 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 and was just loved serving and protecting people.
The 28-year-old died at the hospital, a 5-year veteran of the Sheriff's Office assigned to the Violent Persons Task Force. Neighbors have been on edge as an exhaustive manhunt for Palmer Jr. involving state troopers and the FBI led investigators back near the initial crime scene.
We were worried that at any time everybody was in danger.
The streets near Tomas Macedo's home had been buzzing with undercover officers and helicopters, he says.
A pizza is terrible. Somebody would do something over that.
And while he can't make sense of the senseless, he's going to bed relieved.
We feel a little safer now.
And that was Bryce Newberry reporting from our sister station in Houston. All right, coming up and switching gears, former Spurs champion. See him right there. Danny Green is back in San Antonio. We'll tell you what DG said about this current Spurs squad.
Welcome back. A local group that supports the families of fallen local, state, and federal first responders is once again holding a major fundraiser. The 100 Club San Antonio hosted a kickoff event for its 26th annual spaghetti dinner.
Yeah, this is a big deal. You can see that food right there. It looks really good. The proceeds help the organization fulfill its mission.
It goes to the families, either to the kids for scholarships, or when somebody gets really hurt or somebody dies in the line of duty, the 100 Club's there with a check that day to help with the expenses and buying food and doing everything they can for the funeral, up to the funeral and afterwards. So it goes straight to the families.
This year's spaghetti dinner will be served from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow and Sunday at the Christopher Columbus Italian Society. About 7,000 plates are served during this 2-day event. The plates are $15 each.
Yeah, this is a big deal. And tomorrow there will also be, yes, a meatball eating contest. Cannot go wrong with that. Yes, you can definitely get tickets online right now. All you got to do is go to 100clubsa.org. Should be a good time out there. Well, Tiffany, not a good time out here for our drivers at 410 right there south of US 90. Again, we talked about this. This was that crash that Katrina reported on earlier. 410 northbound still shut down for the time being. Right now, traffic all the way backed up to Ray Ellison and Old Pearsall Road. So a big mess still out there. for our drivers on the southwest side.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks will need to be careful here and there over the next several hours and potentially even into the evening commute. A few soggy spots possible out there on area roadways, as well as some times of reduced visibility if you do find yourself under a passing downpour. We'll get to the radar in just a little bit. I do want to show you the aquifer level for this Friday, down 0.2 of a foot at 629.2. Molds are down significantly from yesterday, but still in the high category at about 1,400. So yes, another check at your authority radar, plus your future cast for the rest of the day coming right up.
Did you know that some San Antonio public libraries have their own seed library? I love this. The gardener in me is exploding, where you can take seeds like you see here in the book. A lot of different seed packets here, or you can even donate some. Check it out, someone donated lots of okra. Want to grow a pollinator garden? They've got you covered with books of seeds. Don't know where to start? They also provide you with resources. Check out a seed library at your local library.
Well, that is really cool. Sarah Costa totally in her element there. She gets ready for the garden. So this story originally posted on our Instagram page. Make sure you go and follow that. Sarah Costa and photojournalist Azian Bermea were working on a story for this show, The News at Noon, when they discovered that you can get those seeds at some of our local libraries.
When I was looking at her flip through the pages, I was remembering like the Pokemon cards.
Yes, those little card, things that you do, card slits and stuff.
Yeah, card collectors. That's a big thing here in San Antonio.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So maybe a lot of gardening going on. Maybe some people trying to plant outside.
Hey, and everybody who is a gardener will take as much rain, I'm sure, as they can get, especially this time of year whenever we just see a lot of heat and humidity. Another chance today for spotty downpours and a couple of storms, and that is something that we have already seen pop up on Authority radar. I want to get to the radar in just a second, but first take a look at live cam right now. This is our camera right at the intersection of 410 and I-10 on the northwest side, looking back towards downtown. You can see a little downpour that's just moved through the northern portions of downtown. That's the one right there crossing over I-35 near the Pearl. That's now approaching the 281 corridor northbound. It will continue to work its way near the Monte Vista area and then eventually near Alamo Heights and Terrell Hills if it can hold together. But that's not the only activity that we're still keeping eyes on. If you're fixing to step out for any lunchtime plans, not a bad idea to take the umbrella with you should you briefly need to use it. You can see we still do have some spotty downpours and a couple of showers right along 1604 on the far south side near Elmendorf as well as Calaveras Lake. Here's that downpour we were talking about at the start of the newscast. It has weakened just a little bit, but still some pockets of heavy rain crossing over I-10 near Leon Springs. That's going to continue to work its way closer to 46, Fair Oaks Ranch and Silver Hills. You could tap into some of that activity as it works its way in from the south. Some heavy rain pushing through Floresville out there in Wilson County this hour. Another little downpour in northern Atascosa County. That's now near the 281 corridor, moving into the southern side of Bexar County. And then that cluster, really just a line of storms right along Highway 90 near Gonzales, Shiner, even some activity near and east of Hallettsville. All of that will continue to work its way in from the south over the next hour or so. We're going to keep a 40% potential for a few more spotty downpours, a couple of isolated non-severe thunderstorms in the forecast throughout the first half of this afternoon, 30% potential into the evening commute. And then after the sun goes down, whatever is left out there on Authority radar looks to fizzle out, much like what we've seen the past few days thanks to the loss of daytime heat. Not finished though with the rain chance. If you don't tap into it today, well, it's still not going to be for everybody tomorrow. Another 40% potential is in the forecast, especially into the afternoon. This is 4 p.m. Notice more of those splash and dash type showers and storms generally working their way farther up to the north. By the time all is said and done, again, still some heavy rainfall, some pockets of gusty winds and some lightning will also need to be monitored for there as well. Looking ahead, though, to the back half of the weekend and into early next week, rain chances then come down and focus is going to turn to the heat. That's all thanks to this high pressure system over the Gulf of Mexico. Mexico. It's going to start to work its way a little bit closer to the state of Texas in the days ahead. So notice your temperature trend warming, low 90s today and into tomorrow, mid 90s Sunday and Monday, and then upper 90s approaching 100 degrees expected by the middle to later portions of next week. When you factor in the humidity, it will likely feel like the triple digits by that time for a few hours in the afternoon. Briefly do want to talk about the tropics because this time last week we were monitoring what would become Hurricane Beryl. As of the latest from the National Hurricane Center, tropical cyclone activity is not expected over the next 7 days, and that is largely due in part to a few plumes of Saharan dust pushing across the Atlantic basin. For our neck of the woods, we are expecting some Saharan dust to work in really a little bit already today, but you'll likely notice more of a haze in the sky tomorrow, Sunday, and into Monday. For the most part, we are just expecting that, a haze in the sky, maybe some colorful and vibrant sunrises and sunsets. In the most severe cases where we do have high concentrations of dust move in, it's possible that it can affect those with severe allergies, unusually sensitive respiratory systems, but I just checked the latest air quality forecast from the TCEQ, not expecting a big dip in air quality here locally, just in the moderate category. Still, we'll keep eyes on it. Again, temperatures back in the upper 90s into next week. By the way, we're not the only part of the U.S. dealing with heat, extreme heat across the desert Southwest this weekend. We're going to get you those details coming up in the next half hour, guys.
Thank you, Mia.
Yeah, still glad we're not seeing 100 degrees. We'll take anything there. Well, Wemby, you see him right there. He was up for another big award, but he gets rejected at the ESPYs. Okay, it's actually not that bad. We'll explain all this coming up here in just a bit. And a former Spurs champion, hey, speaking of Wemby, back in the 2-0 for his camp with some local kiddos. We catch up with Danny Green coming up next in sports. All right, welcome back. Well, Spurs big man Victor Wembanyama was one of 4 athletes nominated for the Best Breakthrough Athlete at the 2024 ESPY Awards last night. Wemby went up against LSU gymnast Haley Bryant, USC star basketball player Juju Watkins, and Texans quarterback CJ Stroud. And last night's winner was, well, it was not Victor Wembanyama. You see there, that was Juju Watkins. She is a star freshman guard for the Trojans. Congrats to her. I'm sure Wemby's going to be winning a lot more awards down the road. But hard to believe, but the ESPYs have actually been around since 1993, and Prince Harry was presented with the Pat Tillman Award for service for his work with wounded veterans and the Invictus Games last night. Congrats to all of those winners. All right, moving on here. Always good to catch up. This guy right here, Danny Green. You saw him. The former Spurs 2014 champ was back in the Alamo City, getting the kids excited for his ballin' in the 2-1-0 basketball camp. More than 110 campers at Sotomayor High School got to meet and learn from Danny Green, who made San Antonio the first stop of his 3 camps that he's holding over the next few days. The kids worked on ball handling, fundamental drills as Green met with the kids and shared some of his skills and expertise. Here's what Green said about holding the camp here in San Antonio.
I would just ask as many questions as possible. Get a chance to ask a professional some of his inside stories or insight, but learn how to get to where he got to if I want to be a player. But if not anything else, but just ask a bunch of questions and obviously learn the game of basketball. Just learn certain small things that I could learn from a professional or other coaches here that I might not learn at home.
All right, Green was with the Spurs for 8 seasons. He was part of the 2014 title team. Remember when the Spurs were still good back then? All right, we're getting back there. Anyways, he still roots for the silver and black, and he said that he hopes to see the team bounce back this upcoming season after the Spurs, of course, brought in CP3 and Harrison Barnes. Here's Danny on those recent moves.
I like it. I love it. We got 2 Carolina guys here now, Harrison Barnes and then Harrison Ingram. We got 2 Harrisons, so it's great, man. I love the start of it. Obviously, at Wemby, picked up some good draft picks, so it's looking pretty good. You know, it's only going to hopefully take sooner than later, but another year or 2 for you guys to get the pieces you need. I would expect a better year. Incremental, I don't know what your definition of incremental is, but I do expect more wins, and I could see them possibly being in the play-in.
Okay, I like that. Well, Danny is holding a camp in Corpus Christi today, and then another one in Edinburgh down in the Valley tomorrow. All right, time to talk some football here. Dak Prescott going deep, you see right there, to One CeeDee Lamb, nice, is what Dallas fans, of course, want to see next season. But CeeDee right now is holding out for a long-term extension, and we don't know when we'll get to see that connection again. Lamb is entering the final year of his rookie deal that will pay him $18 million this season, and he's racked up more than $100,000 in fines for skipping the team's offseason program so far. But Dak says that they've been working out together on their own and that CeeDee is ready to go. Dak was asked at his youth camp about working with Lamb.
I don't know. I can't necessarily count them, so a good amount.
A good amount?
Yeah, but CeeDee's going to be ready. A player like that, an athlete like that, he makes my job easier. As long as he's training, trust me, we'll be just fine, and I'm excited for it.
All right, in 2 weeks, the boys will hold their first practice at training camp in Oxnard, California, where I checked, it's like in the mid-60s right now.
That's nice.
Yes, and of course, KSAT 12 Sports, as we have always been in the past, we will be there to bring you the very latest.
What's your prediction for this year?
For the Cowboys?
Yes.
No playoffs.
Oh.
Spurs playoffs, Cowboys no playoffs.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that for the players, because of the players on the team, or the strategic?
I don't think the Cowboys made any significant moves this offseason. So yeah, don't come at me, Cowboys fans.
Too late.
Trying to be honest. Trying to balance it all out here. Yes. So Spurs, yes, good. Cowboys, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Positive energy, though. Positive energy. Okay.
Yes.
Coming up, some snack foods could be getting cheaper. What's fueling the shift? Still ahead.
And there are several recall alerts in effect. Stephanie Serna is coming up next with what you need to know right after the break.
Welcome back. Before you head into your weekend, the Consumer Product Safety Commission has a few recalls you need to be aware of, and it is mostly has to do with children's sleepwear. Stephanie Serna has the latest.
On the top of the list of things to look out for are these children's pajama sets sold exclusively on Temu.com by Juvenile Kids. The problem is they pose a risk of burn injuries to children. If you have them, don't let your kids use them and contact Juvenile Kids for a full refund. A kid's nightgown is also posing a burn hazard. It was also sold on Temu.com, but by Lovely Angel. If you have this item, contact the seller for a full refund. And at many stores in our area, you may already notice fall items on the shelves. And at Claire's and icing stores, there is a recall on their Halloween witch hats, which can pose a risk of burn injuries to anyone who uses it. In this case, you are advised to return the recalled hat to any Claire's or icing stores for a full refund. And if you've been shopping at Ross, be aware of this festive summer armchair. The armchair's leg can bend or break, posing fall and injury hazards. You can return these chairs to any Ross store for a full refund or a $50 store credit. And one last kids' pajama set sold on Temu. These are also posing a risk of burn injuries to children. For this, you need to contact Fashion Online for a full refund. And those are your recalls ahead of the weekend. Stephanie Serna, KSAT 12 News.
All right, taking you outside live cam, and we're seeing a little bit of clouds out there. And you know what, Mia, we've gotten some rain this week, so that's been, I'm very happy.
We've been able to balance it out across Bexar County, too. Tuesday, the northern side of Bexar County got some needed rain. Wednesday, the south side of Bexar County got some needed rain. Wasn't close to San Antonio yesterday for the most part, but that has changed yet again this Friday. Take a look at Authority radar. Remember about 15 minutes ago when we were talking about that downpour moving over I-35 just north of downtown? It is exactly where we were thinking it was going to head. Now Alamo Heights, Terrell Hills, starting to see that work its way closer to your area. The quarry seeing some much needed rain right now. Right along 281, that's going to continue to work its way farther up to the airport over the next 10 minutes. Still have some spotty downpours just to the southwest of Bernie. Some more activity near Leon Springs, near and just east of Medina Lake as well. And of course, some additional downpours downpours and non-severe thunderstorms working their way through Wilson, Guadalupe, as well as Gonzales counties. Looking ahead to the remainder of the afternoon, a 30 to 40% potential for some additional activity because of the rain-cooled air for some and the added cloud cover. High temperature only in the low 90s, but if you don't tap into any of the rain, it's likely going to feel a few degrees hotter, mid to upper 90s in terms of the heat index values. And then after the sun goes down, we'll start to see whatever's left out there on authority radar die down as well and fizzle out. Another chance into your Saturday, 40% potential tomorrow. High still somewhat seasonable for this time of year, right around 93. But then as those rain chances start to come down by the second half of the weekend and into early next week, those temperatures warm back up, mid to upper 90s, feeling closer to 100 into early next week. And of course, the Saharan dust accompanying that as well. We'll have another check at that extended forecast, plus get you a look at weather around the country coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Mia. Now to late breaking news. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office tells us it found a 7-month-old boy who was the subject of an Amber Alert safe. BCSO found 7-month-old Richard Ramey inside a home on South Foster Road. Now the Sheriff's Office says Richard appeared to be in good health and was checked out by medical personnel.
Yeah, this is a story that we've been following since late last night. The initial Amber Alert called out at 10:15 p.m. Now, BCSO saying that they also found the boy's mother, 30-year-old Nicole Daguano, and 3 other adults at this location. The sheriff says that deputies did detain those individuals. Right now, it's not clear what charges, if any, they will face. We will continue to follow this story. You can check out the latest on KSAT.com. Moving on to some national news here. President Joe Biden tried to use a high-stakes press conference following the NATO summit to quiet his critics, and unfortunately, he once again misspoke several times.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
Yeah, the president also mistakenly referred to Ukraine's President Zelensky as the Russian President Vladimir Putin. He laughed it off at the time, but his opponents in the race for the White House, that being, of course, former President Donald Trump, seized the moment, posting on social media, quote, "Great job, Joe," end quote. At least 17 House Democrats and 1 senator have now called on President Biden to step aside since his debate with Trump 2 weeks ago. 2 calling on the president to make room at the top of the ticket minutes after yesterday's news conference. However, the president maintains that he is not going anywhere.
Nearly all of AT&T's cell phone customers have been impacted by a massive breach. The company says the compromised data includes tens of millions of customers' phone numbers between May 1st, 2022 and October 31st, 2022. Customers' personal information and the contents of their calls or texts were not exposed. AT&T will notify people who were affected. The company says its data was illegally downloaded from its workspace on a third-party cloud platform. AT&T says it's working with law enforcement to find those responsible. At least 1 person was arrested.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has a warning for drivers today who purchased a used car to get their airbags checked. The agency says that cheap, substandard replacement airbag inflators were tied to 3 deaths and 2 life-changing injuries in just this past year. The faulty airbag parts are typically imported and don't adhere to quality standards. The Safety Administration says the airbags may deploy partially or too slowly, or they can also send large metal fragments into drivers' and passengers' chests, necks, eyes, and their face. The agency says that to check a used vehicle's history, report, and if the car has been in a crash, have a mechanic inspect the airbags to make sure the replacement parts are genuine.
This year's summer heat is breaking records. According to the EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service, June was the 13th consecutive month to break a global heat record, and more than half of the U.S. faced extreme heat on July 4th. Scientists say heat waves are becoming the new normal. Here in the U.S., this June was the 2nd warmest in NOAA's 130-year record.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that. Well, inflation fatigue, oh no, is hitting the snack foods markets. But this is some good news here, prompting retailers to actually lower prices. So Frito-Lay's parent company, PepsiCo, says that it's weighing cost-cutting for a number of its brands. This comes after it saw that revenues were dipping in its second quarter and amid those price increases, the average price for a bag of potato chips has gone up 30% in the past 4 years. Definitely something that I've noticed out there. This is just from over $5 to $6.50. It's crazy. Not only have companies been raising prices, but in some cases, they're also cutting the size of the product to save on cost. While PepsiCo says that it's gotten the message from value-driven customers and consumers and plans to adjust prices accordingly.
Here's a trivia question for you. What is San Antonio's oldest library built as a branch? Dive into its history coming up. A SpaceX's launch suffered failure during a routine mission last night. The Falcon 9 rocket attempted to launch a batch of Starlink internet satellites to orbit. The mission appeared to proceed smoothly at first, but the second stage failed. SpaceX doesn't yet know why. The satellites were able to be deployed into orbit, but they may be too close to Earth to remain there for long. It's unclear what this mishap means for the future of SpaceX's Falcon 9. The Federal Aviation Administration will investigate.
All right, we're sticking with some space news here because NASA, they are celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the James Webb Telescope with the release of this photo right here. So this is pretty cool. The image shows a pair of intertwined galaxies, which NASA calls the penguin. You can see it right there. The penguin and the egg. All right, very cool. The galaxies first passed each other 10 million years ago, causing the new star formation that you see with that penguin formation right there. NASA says the galaxies are about the same mass, which is why one hasn't consumed the other. I'm learning a lot from this script here. The $10 billion James Webb Space Telescopes first started taking images back in July of 2022.
I can't believe it's been 2 years. I feel like I just did stories of how UTSA professors are studying these images, and now.
Is it just me that I feel like since we had the eclipse that happened earlier this year, like all of this space news and stuff just seems that much cooler?
Oh yeah.
Right? Like the telescopes, the new satellites that have been launched with NASA and NOAA, all of it very, very cool. I think we're looking once again at 90 at Loop 410 there, RJ, following that crash this morning.
And obviously we still have the main lanes of 410 northbound that are shut down for the time being, and we will continue to update you guys on this story. But major backups there. Hopefully these people maybe have their AC on if they're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, because if you don't tap into any rain today, it's still going to be muggy out there and it's still going to be hot. Of course, it is July, so that's what we can expect for this time of year. Speaking of another update, here's the latest on Authority radar. Still do have a few downpours working through the downtown area. That one started to fizzle out. Another one right near 281 and 410 near the airport with some heftier storm activity off to our southeast. So far 85 today. We're going to reach for the low to mid 90s. That is seasonable for this time of year. Our average high 94. We thankfully will not be anywhere near the record of 105 set back just 2 years ago today. We will have another check at Authority radar, plus get you a look at that extended forecast coming up.
Welcome back. So we're talking all about ice cream.
Yes, can't go wrong with that. No, you were talking about sprinkles.
Yeah, I have a list.
Cookies and cream.
Tips making her HEB list.
We're going to go crazy today. My daughter loves
Friday.
ice cream, so I'm thinking some strawberries, some sprinkles, some cookies, and just crumble it.
Yes. All the above.
Yeah, there's nothing that I don't like about what you just said. It's the weekend. Got to have a little bit. And strawberries, too, I feel like are so refreshing for this time.
And this weather, perfect for ice cream.
There you go. Yes, perfect for ice cream. That is for sure. If you lucky folks have started to see some rain and, again, non-severe thunderstorms push through, I saw this video come into KSAT Connect, got super excited, and then I realized that my mom sent it in. Thank you, Mom, for sending it in. This is from the Floresville area in Wilson County. You can see it is just coming down. We have had some heavy downpours pushed across parts of Wilson County. Take a look at some of the estimated rainfall totals. Near Floresville, over an inch of rain estimated there in Wilson County, right near 181. Just off to the south and west of Poth, almost 2 inches estimated from Authority radar. About 1.3 in a little localized pocket north of Poteet over there in Atascosa County. Helotes on the northwest side of Bexar County, about 0.7 of an inch. 1.9 though with that that cluster of storms moving east of Livonia. That's now working into the far southern portions of Gonzales County and Guadalupe County, I should say, just south of Seguin. That's going to continue to work its way farther up to the north. Near the I-10 corridor, more of the same has now passed over Highway 90 for places like Gonzales. Shiner, you just saw a little bit of heavy rain as well as some lightning. That also is going to work up near I-10, approaching the Luling area as we speak. Here in San Antonio, the airport seeing some rain, nice heavy downpour there just to the east of 281. That's going to work farther up the 281 corridor near Hollywood Park, Stone Oak, potentially if some of that can hold together. A few more spots of rain up in Kendall County near Sisterdale, a little downpour just to the west of Bernie. That's also working its way in from the south near parts of I-10. And over the past hour or so, just a few more slash and dash showers across our southwestern counties near Pearsall, Uvalde, over there into Zavala County there as well. Looking ahead to the remainder of the afternoon and even into the upcoming weekend, really on Saturday, we're still going to keep a 30 to 40% potential in the forecast for a few more spotty afternoon pop-up downpours. Into this weekend, that also is when we will be monitoring for another plume of Saharan dust to work back into the south central Texas sky, adding a little bit more of a haze that you'll likely notice, especially tomorrow and into Sunday itself. Then next week, as high pressure starts to nudge into the Lone Star State just a little bit more so, rain chances are going to come down and we'll start to see those temperatures rise back up into the upper 90s and even near that 100-degree mark for a few locations. Where it is going to hit 100 degrees and even way hotter than that, check this out. Across portions of the desert Southwest, another heat high building in right over the Rockies. 103, the forecast high temperature in Salt Lake City. How about 116 in Las Vegas, 114 in Phoenix? Thankfully, we will not be anywhere near that here in San Antonio with the forecast high near 92. But you can see some heat advisories as well as excessive heat warnings have been issued way out west as a result. For us here in the Alamo City, low 90s continue through the first half of the weekend, mid 90s by Sunday, and then we'll start to see that temperature trend hotter in the upper 90s into early next week. Until then, we're in the 80s for the most part. 90 degrees though off to our south in Pleasanton, currently 85 here in town if you're about to step out for any lunchtime plans. 91 around 3 p.m. There's that forecast high pointed around 92 to 93 here in San Antonio. And then if you're headed out for any evening plans later on today, not a bad idea to take the umbrella with you through dinner time, but then after we see the sun go down, we lose that daytime heat. Whatever is left out there should continue to fizzle out like the pattern we've seen over the past several days, and then those temperatures start to fall into the low 80s later on tonight. More of the same in store tomorrow, still not for everybody, but we are expecting more activity to pop up on Authority radar, starting off in the mid 70s, highs in the low 90s before focus then turns to temperatures into early next week. We'll be right back.
The San Pedro Branch Library was built in 1929, opened in 1930. It was designed by a very famous architect firm of the time, father and son, Robert and Atlee Ayers. And they were responsible for many prominent houses in Monte Vista. The oldest library that was built as a library branch, that's the way we classify it. There were other branches before this, but they were rented out space, and one is in an ice house and in various different places. And there was always a central library, but this is the first built as a branch. Small, but it's just a beautiful piece of architecture. I loved the history. Some of the rooms were actually screened-in porch because they had, the breeze blowing through. There was no air conditioning. There's big windows. And I love the natural light that we have in here. The history of San Antonio really emanates from the springs here in San Pedro. This park is the oldest municipal park in Texas. It's probably the 10th oldest in the United States. It's a gem, and I hope a lot of people in San Antonio come visit and see this place because it's very important for our history.
San Antonio's oldest library built as a branch is the San Pedro Library.
Yes, love those drone shots there from some of our photojournalists. And speaking of our photojournalists, Azian Bermea and Sarah Acosta got to learn all about the library's history as part of a special edition of the KSAT News at Noon this week that our producer Priscilla Ayala put together. Great job by Priscilla and that crew getting out there and showing some love to our local libraries.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And if you need a cool off this summer, go to the library. It's a perfect place to go to.
To beat the heat, yeah. And yeah, we saw earlier, Sarah, with the seeds and stuff, there's a lot of interesting things going on there.
Yeah, and a lot of interesting things going on SA Live.
Let's check in with them.
Looking for a weekend getaway this summer? Today on SA Live, how you can relax, eat, and save money because we're giving you a great deal on a hotel in Austin.
And it's a scenic adventure on the Colorado River where you can kayak, canoe, or stand-up paddleboard just a heartbeat away from downtown Austin.
Book lovers, it's your dream come true. We go inside Texas's largest independent bookstore and find out why this Austin gem is so special. We are in the live music capital of the world, and we are going inside a local record shop that's been around for decades.